Hello everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is John. I'm a full-time eBay reseller based in Melbourne, Australia. Two things. There's a giant poster next to me because I picked it up in a garage sale for $5. I reckon it'll sell for 50. I don't know, but I couldn't say no to it, so I picked it up. And it'll probably be here in all our videos going forward until it sells, because this is like the only place I have that I can safely let it sit. Also, it's summer and I'm in a hoodie because it's suddenly gotten cold again. But that's Melbourne for you, especially those of you guys who are not from Australia. This is Melbourne. It's like we get summer and winter in the same day and with no warning. So hoodie it is today. This is part 3 of our weekly theme on goal setting. In part 1, we talked about how before you go through the motions of achieving a goal, you should first at least articulate with courage the goal that you really want. And so you can take ownership of it, really like give it a good go. And in part 2, we talked about how there is going towards a goal, and then there's running away from a situation. Because some people will say that they want something better, but really the pattern is, I'm just running away from the thing that I was doing before. I encourage you to watch both those parts and have discussions around what that means for your situation as well. In part 3 today, I'm going to talk about SMART goals. And that's a framework that everyone's quite familiar with, because if you've been in a job that has some sort of KPI, this would have been one of those online modules, right? And if you have gone to any like self-motivation, self-improvement, sales training, SMART goals are in the PowerPoints. So we're going to cover that because that's important. It's it very much encapsulates what the essence of goal setting and achieving is. And here's the thing, if you're watching this video with me, it means that you acknowledge you can be better at goal setting and goal achieving. I also acknowledge I can be better at goal setting and goal achieving. To me, it's very similar to loving somebody. You can always do better at giving love. So without further ado, SMART goals. The S in SMART stands for specific, and the M stands for measurable, the A stands for achievable, R for realistic, T for time sensitive. T, time sensitive, just means if you give yourself forever to achieve something, doesn't really count, does it? And if you really want to make progress and benchmark how you're going, checking on your progress and building upon progress, there must be a time limit. The S for specific. Specific just simply means to be able to vividly articulate the thing that you're trying to achieve, rather than have a vague idea. Drinking water is a great example. People every year say they want to drink more water. Being specific will mean, I want to drink more water because it'll help me to stay hydrated, it'll help me to feel better, it'll help me to have less headaches, it'll help me to get through my day better. If I drink more water, I will drink less coffee. Things like that, right? It's specific. There are benefits that are desired. And then the next one, M, measurable. Measurable is great because measurable helps people keep you accountable, and measurable helps you keep you accountable. Without any sort of measurability, 10 cups of water every single day, someone might say, you look a bit dehydrated, have you drank enough water? You were going to drink more this year. You might say, I've got no time today, but I've drank more than yesterday, so it's all good. It doesn't really give much incentive for those who care to keep caring. Doesn't give much incentive for you to keep caring either. So specific, measurable, go together, leads to accountability. Accountability is so important. People don't achieve goals because they lack accountability. Plain and simple. If nobody can keep you accountable, you won't keep yourself accountable. Because the fact is, you might say, yeah, I am very self-accountable. You're a rare breed. Human beings by nature want change, and they want to try new things. They'll chase the next best thing. It's very hard for someone to be disciplined and just be self-accountable. So help yourself by allowing yourself to be accountable to others. Because when others who care about you keep you accountable, you're more likely to achieve your goals. And that measurability aspect makes that worthwhile for them. When someone wants to keep me accountable for something because they care, I don't see it as them trying to audit me, to make me annoyed, to disrespect my space or privacy or autonomy. I see it as someone wanting to invest in my endeavor through time, attention, and energy, because the betterment of me is likely going to be the betterment of them. Even someone like my mum, If my mom says I'm gonna spend time, if my mom spends time reminding me, checking on me, asking how I'm going, and I end up being a better son and father as a result, she gets to enjoy watching this happen. She gets to enjoy the better me benefiting her grandchildren. She gets to enjoy the better me being the content of the stories that she tells all the other mums, right? As mums tend to do. So I see this as an investment, and you should too. Because when you see this investment, you suddenly realize I need to respect their time, their energy, their attention, their thoughts, directed towards me to see me provide this return. Okay, so that's smart, measurable. Those two together, whilst you're making progress, achievable starts to look a bit clearer, fluid. By that I mean you don't really know what's achievable until you know what you can achieve. So specific and measurable provide you a basis of achievement, like a baseline of sorts. If I work 1 hour, I can achieve this much, 2 hours, and so forth. So then when you adjust your goals and say, I want to achieve, say, 100 listings in an hour, you can go, you know what? I've been only doing 70 so far. I wonder what it would take to get that extra 30 in the same hour. You might make some changes. You might list on a computer instead of on your phone. But the point is, until you have some sort of baseline, achievable looks a bit blurry. It becomes a crapshoot. Let's try and see. But once you have specific and measurable aspects to your goal, the achievable aspect becomes quite clear. And people who keep you accountable will actually be like, yeah, I can see that happening. Give it a shot. You might be tired. Not sure if you can sustain it, but give it a shot. See how you go. See how long you can last. That's the kind of conversation you'll be having. Okay? I'm going to jump to time sensitive. Time sensitive is, I like time sensitive because it's quantifiable, right? It's not give me more time. It's I can list this many in an hour. I wonder how many I can list in 2 hours. Will it be more efficient or less? I want to get my listing time for every item, photographs and drafts and uploading to 1 minute instead of 1.5 minutes. That time aspect makes us push. So I like time sensitive for that. Realistic. Realistic to me is the most malleable if you allow it to be. And by that I mean, when I talk to people about achieving their goals and I talk about achieving my goals, I realize that when there's an inconsistency, it comes down to resources. It comes down to, we don't have any money. When we save enough money, we'll do X. And then after that, when there's something else comes up, suddenly there is money. Or, nah, I don't really want to do it. I don't really have any energy for it. I'm too tired. But then when there's something else comes out, it's like, oh, so there is energy. And I think what it comes to is the honest reflection on our reality. That's what realistic means to me when I look at that framework. Because if you're consistent and you recognize that these are my dollars, these are my time units, these are my energy units, these are my mental block units, it will be consistent whether you're doing something that you don't want to do, you don't feel like doing, but you know you'll better your situation, like going to the gym, running your business, growing your business, burning the midnight oil, whatever it may be, or going on a holiday. It's the same. Because when you talk about being accountable to those who care about you and invest in you, if you tell them, my resources are kind of tight, I can't really do X, Y, Z, but then the moment there's something that is a bit more enjoyable, something a bit more frivolous, something a bit more fun, you can go, yeah, I can afford this. We have money to buy, the random Lego set or to go on a whiskey bar thing. Like, those who want to keep you accountable go, wait, but I thought you didn't have that to do the thing that was supposed to benefit us. But now you have it to do this other thing that only benefits you. So realistic requires us to be honest in our assessment of our reality. And if we can do that, those who keep us accountable, those who invest in our progress, will continue to do so, because at least they know that even when they forget to keep us checking, that we are also checking. And we will behave in a consistent manner, because we're not going to believe we have nothing one day and we have everything another day. It would be an honest reflection. So, in summary, in order to have goals that we can set and achieve, we must, above all, be honest in our self-reflection of our reality. And then from there, go, what is a vivid picture of what I want to achieve and the benefits? Specific. How do I measure how I'm doing? Measurable. What can I achieve and maybe push to achieve better? And then after that, within what time frame, so that as those time points in that timeline hit, those who are paying attention can keep us in check. And recognizing that without that accountability, it is a lot harder to achieve the goals that we want. So learning to appreciate those who want to keep us accountable and appreciate that when we do well, they do well. That's really what we want, isn't it? We don't really want to do well on an island. We want to do well within the communities that we choose to spend our time. So thanks for tuning into part 3. Thank you for taking in my version of SMART goals. And I'll see you in part 4. Have an awesome night. Bye.